So you're presenting, the training's going really well, you're hitting everything you want, you're getting great engagement. Things couldn't go better, right? Until you look down and right there in the front row, someone's checking email and texting on their phone right in front of you. What do you do if you're the trainer? Now, I know what I'd like to do. There is this video on YouTube, and apparently it was staged, but there's a college professor teaching. There's a kid on the second row. He's on the phone. The professor walks up, takes the phone, snatches it out of the kid's hand, throws it against the wall, and it smashes into a million bits, and he keeps on going as if nothing happened. Now, we can't do that. There are legal reasons, there are other reasons. Everyone in the room might hate you or be scared of you. But I feel like doing that. But you can't do that. So what do you do? Because what most people do is they just ignore it. So what happens if one person is on their phone checking it, no one says anything, the person 2 seats away will say, well, gosh, Jane is using her phone. She seems pretty smart. If she can use hers to check her email, and we haven't had a break in 10 minutes, I can check mine. No one seems to mind. And then this person will do it. And then the person 3 seats over. I've literally seen it go from 1 person to 2 to 4 to 8, and before you know it, half the room is on a cell phone. I've seen that happen before. So this is a big, big problem. And if you don't manage your room the right way, no training will take place. Now, you can check a box and say we were there for a day and this amount of content was covered, but you won't actually have communicated because no one will have been listening to you because they will have been staring at their cell phones. So I want to share with you several techniques I use. One thing, when I see someone on a phone, I'll simply walk close to them. Quite often that's enough to make them put it away. I'm not going to do anything overtly to say, hey Jim, you're being a rude jerk, put that away. I won't say anything. I don't want people to hate me. I don't want people to think I'm rude or harsh or mean. Plus, you never really know any one individual's circumstances. They could have a close family member in a hospital. They could have a family member expecting a baby at any moment. There may be perfectly good reasons why they just absolutely have to check their cell phone in the middle of your training. So you don't want to overreact, but if you underreact, you undermine your credibility in this training. So one thing I'll do is I'll just walk right over to them. That means, of course, you can't have a wired microphone and feel like you're constrained. You certainly can't stand behind a lectern. And if you consider yourself a professional trainer, even if you're a beginner the first day, my advice is never, ever, ever touch or get behind a lectern, what many people call a podium, but is actually a lectern. You want to be moving throughout the room the whole time. You want to be physically close to everyone at some point in any given 20-minute period. So that's the first step. I would walk close to the person. Sometimes that does it, sometimes it doesn't. If they still are oblivious, what I might do is then walk to the other side of the room and I'll say something like, well, I was talking to Jim during the last break and he mentioned to me that. I'll mention the person's name because quite often that's enough to have them come back because they don't want to be left out. People have an amazing ability to hear their own name. So I haven't said anything embarrassing. I haven't chided him at all. I simply referenced a conversation with that person. But I'm not looking at them at the moment. That's enough to bring them back. Another technique I use is I'll toss out a rhetorical question about some experience that people are likely to have faced. And I'll say, that's happened to all of us before, right? Jim, that's happened to you before, right? And Jim will look up if he's the one on the cell phone. So I haven't embarrassed him. I haven't put him in a situation where he has to say, oh gosh, I don't know, I wasn't paying attention. He can just sort of look up and shake his head, and I look like I'm acknowledging it and thanking him and going on. So those are some techniques I use that are very effective, because if you let people left to their own devices, they think they're great multitaskers. All the research shows human beings are horrible multitaskers. If you let your trainees use their phones in your training, you will not have a training.